We're back with another video. We're starting this one off bright and early at 6:25 in the morning. I'm not a morning person. We got like 2 hours of sleep and a 14.5-hour drive ahead of us, and that's not including any stops or breaks. So I think the arrival time is like 11 o'clock at night because there is a 2-hour time difference on top of that. It's gonna be an extremely long day ahead of us. We're going to trade the black F80 M3 for basically another one of my dream cars and almost my perfect dream spec. So let's see how this trip goes. It's a long day ahead of us. We head through Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas into Oklahoma, and then we will be staying the night in Oklahoma and meeting up tomorrow morning for the car. So we're gonna keep you updated, but let's get out this traffic jam and hopefully start getting some miles down. It's gonna be about a 1,000-mile drive. We are making our way through Arizona. We're currently in, I believe, very close to Kingman, if not in Kingman. This town is very old, pretty much run down. A lot of the stuff is abandoned, but for some reason there's never traffic here, but there says there's a crash, so this is pretty backed up. We went and stopped, got some gas. So I believe our next stop is Flagstaff, which is almost 200 miles away. We're gonna continue making progress. Gas prices are going up, paying $5.40 for gas. Damn, this should turn to Cali for real. We're passing through the Grand Canyon. We made a little pit stop. We came to film the deer. What the? So we're basically in the Grand Canyon, and we're at this little petting zoo. I think it's called Grand Canyon Deer Farm, something like that. But it's a little petting zoo where they gave us some food. We paid to get in, and there's a bunch of stuff over here. You can pet the deer. We might go back through there, see if we can pet a deer, but everyone's just chilling here. There's the miniature horse. But I don't like these birds roaming around. Those are creepy. And we're gonna get back on the road right now. Wanted to get some souvenirs. I haven't been over here since a little kid, but here we are. This shit look like my cousin. God damn. I'm just going through a phase. What you doing, big bro? What you eating there? This place is way better. What are you looking at, huh? Huh?
Bro,
what are you looking at?
Said it's just a phase.
It's so much different being out here than Vegas. This is such a nice change of scenery. The weather's nice. It's cool out here. Vegas would be hot as hell. No trees, no green, dirty air. I don't have anything for you. I'm sorry. Can I pet you? Is that okay? Oh, that's nappy. Hey! Motherfucker just untied my shoe. You little shit.
You tied your shoe.
I'd go over there, but they're all shit, bro. I'm sorry. If I had food, I'd feed just you. Little babies. Slowly making progress. We are in the middle of New Mexico. We're gonna come out pretty soon and head into Texas, but we're finally getting out of more of the desert portion. We got lucky with Arizona. All the Grand Canyon area, that turned into super green, bunch of trees, a very nice change of scenery. And now we're passing through Mexico, New Mexico, and it's all basically pretty flat. We're just now getting more to the green. We just filled up, got 388 miles to empty. Everything's been going very good. I don't want to jinx it because I have a very bad problem with that. So everything's going some real mid, except we were passing in the Grand Canyon and there was a piece of wood, a piece of firewood in the middle of the lane, and I was coming around a corner and I didn't see it, or I don't know what happened. I don't know if it just dropped. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention, but randomly there was a piece of wood in the middle of the road and I had no other option but to basically run it over. My option was to either let it go in the middle of the car, but I wasn't sure how wide it was and how thick it was. I didn't want it to basically go under the oil pan and go under the transmission and the diff. I didn't want it to hit anything mechanical. So my other option was to kind of swerve, and I couldn't swerve too aggressively because there's people in the other lane. So I ended up running it over with the front tire, and it's been vibrating for the past 4 or 5 hours. But I pulled over immediately and to make sure nothing was leaking, make sure none of the control arms were bent, and it only vibrates over like 60 or 70 miles an hour. We're gonna get to Texas very soon. Texas should be a short trip. We only have 360 miles until we are absolutely there, and about 5 hours to go. So it's right around 4 or 5 o'clock. The time change got us, so it's a 2-hour time change. So we're gonna get there probably around 11 or 12. Get a hotel for the night, and we plan to meet him at 11 a.m. and he's coming straight to us. Basically, he's gonna get a hotel a little bit further back and we're gonna go all the way. Some lunch and some souvenirs. Supposed to hand this car over clean, and it's full of shit. So I gotta do a little bit of cleaning before tomorrow morning. We have made it to Texas. We are in the pretty famous area of nothing but windmills. It's insane to see how big these are and how much are really out here. They're everywhere. But we're making our way through Texas. We won't be here for that much longer. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes left. I just purchased whatever hotel I found in the area that looked like I would be the safest and I wouldn't run into somebody you're gonna catch on Chris Hansen. We're in the middle of basically nowhere going through Texas. I don't think we're gonna see much. Maybe Amarillo, we might see a little more city, but other than that, I don't think we're really gonna get into much. It's just gonna be open road, and same thing with Oklahoma. We're almost there. We've been on the road for almost 12 hours, and now we only have about 2 hours left and then we'll be done. Let's get to Oklahoma for the night and get some rest, because your boy is off like 2 hours of sleep. It's gonna be sunset, it's gonna get dark out, so I don't know how much I'll be able to film, but we'll pick it up when I have something for you guys. It's the next day. It's currently 10 something in the morning. We just spent the night at a hotel. Actually, surprisingly, was a actual nice hotel compared to a lot of the other stuff we stay on the West Coast. So that was a nice surprise. We're gonna wait, I think, 30 more minutes for him to get over here. We're just exploring a little bit of Oklahoma right now. There's absolutely nothing out here. We literally just got a hotel. We got here around 11-ish last night. Basically just went to the hotel, knocked out, went to sleep, woke up about an hour or two ago, and now we're back on the road. So we're gonna go meet him at a local Walmart. There's really nothing around here, so we're gonna meet up at like the one basic public place, and then we're gonna check out the car. I don't know if I'm gonna film there or if I'm gonna film after, but we'll definitely be coming back very soon. So this will resume in about 30 minutes to an hour, and we'll either have a new car or I'll be in a very bad mood. So let's see what happens. We are absolutely in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma right now, taking in the F80 for maybe the last time. It's been an amazing car and it looks so good out here. Everything looks better the day you sell it. So sheesh. Well, we're sleeping at the hotel. A couple birds kind of shit on the car, but it still is a beautiful car and surprisingly still clean even after the drive. So I love this car with more than anything, and this is the middle of nowhere. F80 has never seen this, I believe. The car was originally from Tennessee, so possibly something similar, but we're out here in Oklahoma and taking in the last breath of the F80. We were waiting for the car to pull up and it broke. It snapped the supercharger belt. I don't know what happened or what the problem is. The F80's back there. So I think we're coming up with a way to make this work, but I cannot stop having bad luck. The F80 broke on the test drive. Now I'm 15 hours in Oklahoma and this thing broke before we could even come up. So we're trying to make something work, but this car looks a little rougher than I wanted. The supercharger belt is snapped, the bumper tab is broken, and the car looks to be completely repainted and has quite a bit of orange peel. This car is rough around the edges, but it is Alpine white, ESS Supercharged, 2011, 160k miles, and it has cloth interior, obviously 6-speed manual, but it doesn't have carbon roof. It is wrapped. F80 is just chilling back there. I think what we last agreed on was $1,500 on top, plus he transports this to me and I drive my car home myself, so I can have my own freedom and I don't have to be waiting for anybody. But damn, the belt did snap completely clean, so I think that if it was a routing issue, I think that it would start freighting and you would see it kind of strip itself apart, but it snapped clean, so I think it was either too much tension or the wrong size belt. So hopefully we should be able to get this thing fixed. I'm gonna start texting some people and we'll figure it out. We're back on the road in the F80. Not what I was expecting, not what I wanted. I don't know why she wants me to show you that. Anyways, so we ended up agreeing on $1,500 cash on top. He is going to transport the car straight to my house. I'm gonna drive the F80 back home. He was offering to have me I said he has a transporter that could take me with the car, and I'm good. I don't want to sit in someone's back seat as we drive across the country. That's awkward, and I want to get out and stop or take breaks or get food, bathroom breaks, whatever the case. I don't want to be on somebody else's time. Plus, she has to get back to work in the morning, so we're in a bit of a rush. That was the option. Then he also offered to buy one plane ticket for her and then leave me behind, which I'm not going to leave her or be on my own, so that didn't work. And then he also asked if he could drive with us, which he just asked. He wasn't like insisting or trying to get us to go. He just asked, but of course I'm not letting anybody in my back seat. So he's gonna fly to Vegas and drive this back to Atlanta, and the car will be delivered to my house at who knows what time or what the situation will be. So we're just gonna road trip it back apparently. So I don't really know how this is gonna go. This is not what I wanted. I was hoping this would work, and unfortunately that car is in rougher shape than I thought. It's Alpine white, but it looks like the entire car was resprayed at some point, and it wasn't done very good. It looks very orange peely, and it doesn't look quality at all. So I didn't know about that. He said the paint needs TLC. So I was assuming that it needs a correction or a buff, or there's scratches, just something light. I didn't think the entire car was repainted. So yeah, that's a problem. The car's broke, that's also a problem. I'm not sure if something's not aligned properly in the engine bay and that's why the belt snapped, or if the belt was somehow faulty, over tightened, the wrong size, whatever the case is. I don't know if it's just a belt issue. The problem that scares me is that I always hear people with superchargers constantly having belt issues. They throw a belt constantly. I see it everywhere and I'm fearful of that. And the thing is that with the ESS kits, they're proven and they're set up perfectly so that you don't have any reliability issues. I've never heard of anybody throwing a belt on an ESS kit. The kits for our cars are just really basic and basically gets the job done. It doesn't really do anything crazy and it doesn't push crazy power. So I don't see why a reason it would snap. Anyways, that's basically the little rant about what's going on. So we're gonna road trip it back, get to Vegas at probably 2 a.m. Luckily I was able to sleep at the hotel and get some rest, so that feels a lot better. And we're gonna road trip it. So we'll keep you updated as we go. And I should be coming back relatively soon with some information and with hopefully the car at my house. Even then it's not gonna be able to run and drive. I was looking at what it's connected to. I believe that the supercharger belt is connected to the alternator, and I don't think anything else. I think maybe just some tensioners, but I'm gonna hear the car start and run before I take the car officially. So we're gonna see how that goes and we'll get back to you. But back to the road trip and some travel. We're on our way way back to Vegas, making some progress. We have about 9 hours left. We're right about in Albuquerque. He's waiting for the transport guy to pick it up, and he said that the guy is stuck in traffic. He was supposed to pick it up around like 4 or something, and the plan was to drop it off like Vegas 4 or 5 a.m. and now it's getting pushed hours back. And he said that he has somebody different planning to pick up the F80, and I don't want to give my car over unless the E92 is at my house, dropped off. I don't want to hand over the title, the keys in the car. I don't want to hand over a single thing without that car already being at my house. I don't trust that. I did my part. I drove here. I did everything I had to do. I held up my end, and he's the one that had issues. So I'm not gonna give this over unless that car is dropped off first. So I guess we're gonna see what happens and how much longer it takes for that car to get picked up. But I guess it's just a waiting game, and we're gonna see what happens. But 9 hours left. Welcome back. It's officially the next day, and unfortunately this car is in my hands now. I posted in the community I should trade for this, and it was mixed reviews. I had a lot of people personally and online telling me low-key, you know, don't trade, the F80 is worth more. And I was in like this little tunnel vision where I was like, 2011 Alpine White ESS Supercharged E92 M3 sounds amazing. The ESS Supercharger is sick. Alpine White's amazing. Cloth seats. It's literally the F80's twin. And I should have listened. This thing is terrible. I hate this car already, and I've driven it probably, I don't know, 40, 50 feet straight from the trailer. It just got dropped off. I drove it from the trailer straight into the garage because, as you guys know, the supercharger belt has fallen off. And if we go into the engine bay, we are dealing with a missing belt, and it's very dark, but it also shredded a pulley, which I did not see down below. But there's a lot of little things that, you know, when you're in the moment, you don't really pay attention to. And then when you have something to yourself and you're not really, I don't know, I wasn't nervous, I wasn't anxious, I wasn't excited. I don't know, I wasn't paying attention because in my eyes, I wasn't going to trade. So I really wasn't paying attention. And then I was just really worried about the supercharger belt and the routing. That's the only thing I was thinking about. I assumed, okay, the rest of the car's got to be good. But there's a lot of little things, like this shit has electrical tape on it. I noticed that this throttle body is missing the clamp. Again, the belt's missing. I don't know if this is, I'm pretty sure that's actually fine. That's normal. He said something about it being rebuilt or some, I don't know. But there's a lot about this car that I really have no idea. I've never had one of these, and my first one being supercharged kind of throws me off because I don't know what's supposed to be there. I don't know what's not supposed to be there. I don't know what the engine bay is supposed to look like or where things are supposed to be routed. So it's a little tough for me. I'm definitely going to need some help with this car. I'm either going to have one of my friends that is a very, very high reputable mechanic. He works on literally supercars all day. So I'm either going to have him help, or I have two people in mind that have very good independent reputable shops, and they're independent themselves. They don't even have employees. So the problem is that I know both of them personally, and they are backed up always through the roof, and they are quite expensive. But obviously we need to get this car right and sorted. So besides the big bummer of basically this car can't even run because there's no belt, so it's going to overheat basically within a minute. So we're not going to really worry about this. We're going to have to come back and basically go over this. So probably one of the very next episodes is I already ordered the ESS belt. I saw some mixed reviews online, so I'm not exactly sure what belt we're going to end up running. I'm going to try the ESS belt, but I got to see about a tensioner pulley, or I don't even know. I don't think it's actually a tensioner. I think it's an actual pulley. So I got to see about that. And once we get into that, that'll be probably next episode, because we got to get this thing running and we got to get this thing sorted out. And we're gonna find the other problem. God damn, these struts are hard. Sheesh, gotta be doing a workout just to fucking put the hood down. Anyways, we got to get the car running and driving before we can find the other faults. The transmission felt like ass, honestly, just driving. Only thing I did was put it in reverse first and second. It grinded to second, but I asked him, I was like, this thing's grinding. Is there something wrong with it? Are you sure this car is good? But he's like, oh no, bro, I never had any issues. Oh, this thing's amazing. So we'll see about that. I'm not new to manual. I'm not new to short shifters. I'm not new to short shifters feeling like ass. We got one outside that feels fucking terrible. So I don't think it's my fault. I know what I'm doing. I know how to drive these cars. So maybe I feel a little too overconfident in myself, but bro, it's first to second. It's a manual car. The F80's manual. We've had all these shitty ass M5s, E46 M3, a bunch of random M cars, a bunch of random cars. They've all been manual. I've all had terrible manual cars. I've had the amazing manual car, so I don't think it should be a problem on my end. The short shifter feels like ass. It feels like when I'm pushing up, it feels like it's hitting something and then it has to go into gear still. So we definitely need a stock shifter in this thing. That has to go. The shift knob's coming off. There's buttons. All the soft touch plastics basically melting away. I don't even know where to continue. The paint's ass. The front bumper, it fits over here, but you can notice that there's starting to chip and crack because this car was repainted. So obviously they didn't fix damage, or it's just the quality of the paint and it's deteriorating. Over here we have a crack right here, and the bumper is broken tabs. These side skirts are terrible. We're gonna get rid of that. The roof is wrapped black. I don't know if I'm gonna take that off, but I can say one thing, I like the wheels. That's about it. EC7's kind of hard to go bad with these. The brakes have been repainted yellow. The rotors look somewhat fresh. They're getting kind of lips on them, but the wheels are curb rashed. And he was complaining, telling me that he just had these refinished and that he didn't want to throw them in because they were too much money and the tires are new and all this other shit. But it's missing the center cap. The tires are ass. They got curb rash. So I wish I didn't trade for this. I wish I listened to you guys. So this side's a lot better. Oh, there's a floating center caps. Never had those before. How are these rotors? Same thing, starting to get a lip. These tires, I know these are higher spec tires. I know these are more expensive, but the tread isn't that deep. But also, I don't even know about these tires. I low-key haven't even had nice tires like that. So again, I'm pretty clueless on this car. This side's a lot nicer too. I hate this. This has to go. Plus it's low-key sticky. I don't know why. Rear diffuser can stay. Exhaust sounds very good. But this car is rattly and feels so rough. I hate that there's the M3 badge missing and the sticker. I don't know if I'm gonna replace the badge or just leave it as is. But this car feels, I don't know, it's just so rough. It feels like a piece of shit, to be honest. I don't know why. The short shifter looks terrible. The lighting is very hard in here. Might do it the other side, but it is Alpine white on speed cloth interior, 6-speed manual, 2011, clean title, 165,000 miles, double hump, EDC. Other than that, these don't have. Oh, is it? I don't know. Do these cars have Alcantara? Dang it! I thought we were gonna have Alcantara. How's my M5 better than this piece of shit? But if you can see, it's a bunch of like missing, or not missing, but this is missing. The buttons are just very worn. They have a lot of wear on here. The screen looks scratched. Steering wheel. It is a higher mileage car, so it is kind of to be expected. it's just, man, I was blindsided by this one. I was in the moment. I honestly, so the story is that we were waiting at the Walmart parking lot, waiting to meet up with him. He's like, all right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Like 20 something minutes passed. And I was like, all right, bro. I was like, where you at? Oh, I'm 5 minutes down the street, but the belt just snapped. I was like, what? I was like, you told me you just had them replaced. Oh yeah, I just had everything replaced. That's why it's weird. The belt snapped. I'm 5 minutes down the street. Can I give you a call? So I called him. And I basically told him, I was like, okay. I was like, obviously, I'm going to pass. I was like, there's nothing I can do. We're in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, your car's broken. I was like, you just had everything replaced. So the fact that it just shredded a belt, well, it didn't shred it. It snapped it clean. So the fact that it just snapped the belt clean, I was like, there has to be an issue. There's no reason why it would just snap a belt. He said that, oh, the car hasn't been driven in a few months, or he just got it fixed and hasn't really driven it since. And he drove it an hour and a half to me, but he trailered it fucking 13 hours to get to where he was at. So that was already a red flag. And then he was like, oh, just come see the car. Just come down the street and look at it. At least just look at it. We came all this way. So I was like, all right, it's not going to hurt just to come look at the car. I went down the street. I looked at it. First thing I noticed was the paint. That was a huge blow. I automatically didn't want the car. I looked at it. I didn't trust it. The belt was snapped. I told him straight up, I was like, okay, I can't really do shit with this because the belt snapped. I was like, it was cool looking at it, but I basically told him over and over that I was going to pass. And he's like, oh, bro, I want to make this work. I don't want to waste your time. What could I do to make it work? So he was telling me all this other shit. He was trying to buy me a plane ticket, and he's trying to take my car and then give me his. Or basically, he was trying to buy me a plane ticket, have me leave, give him my car to him, and then he was going to transport this. So then I was going to lose both cars and then fly. I was like, nah, I'm not going to be fucking stranded. I'm not going to get last minute plane tickets. Even if he offered to buy one and I was with my wife. So I'm not going to buy another plane ticket. I'm not going to leave you with my car and then leave with nothing. I was like, nah, I was like, I'm going to leave. I was like, I don't want to trade. I told him over and over I didn't want to trade. And then he finally told me he would add cash and then he would pay for both cars to be transported and I could drive my F80 back home and I could just leave. So I was like, okay, I finally agreed. I low-key didn't want to, but I looked at my wife and she's like, okay, do it. So I listened to her and she told me to do it. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And I automatically regretted it. I didn't want it. And then he kept calling me with different plans. He's like, can you come back? He's like, can we just exchange titles? I was like, already 30, 40 minutes on the way home. I was like, no, I'm not coming back. I was like, if you want to pass, just let me know. I'll go. I was low-key, I'm too nice. I was feeling bad because I agreed to the deal, but I regretted it and I didn't want to take it. But I had already said yes, so I continued to go. I was like, all right, I don't want to go back on my word. I don't want to be that guy. But I was like, I kept giving the option. I was like, okay. I was like, just say you're done and we'll pass. I was like, I'll go home, no problem. I was like, I don't care. I got other shit lined up. I'd rather just sell it. And he's like, oh, no, I'll make it work. So then he would back out of whatever he asked me for. And then he called me again. It was like, hey, he's like, what if you give me the F80 and I buy you a rental? I was like, nah. I was like, just back out. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I'm good. And he's, oh, no, I'll make it work. Then he called me again. He's like, okay. He said something about, he's like, okay, can the car get delivered? He told me that the car was going to be to my house like a couple hours after me. So basically the car was going to get on transport, go directly to my house. So like, okay, yes, that's what I want. Then he texted me, he's like, okay, bro, the car will be there Sunday or Monday, actually. I was like, no, I was like, that's not what we just agreed on. So I told him, okay, I was like, I'm good. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he's like, oh, bro, my car's already on the trailer. I have the title signed. The cash is in the car. It's already there. If we back out, I'm going to lose everything. So I was like, all right. I was like, get that shit to my house ASAP. But I was like, I'm not giving you the F80 until this car's at my house and I know everything's good. So here we are. I wish I backed out. I tried to, but I'm too nice of a guy. So now we're kind of unfortunately stuck with this. I know I'm just in the state because we got it and it's already broken. So I just think this car's a piece of shit. Most likely my mood will change once we're driving this thing and we get to actually enjoy it. But for now, I think this car is a piece of shit and I don't want it. So, hey, if anybody wants to send me an offer, let's hear it. I don't know what else to go over this car. I really don't have too much on it. He gave me a folder of receipts. It does have rod bearings done. It has proof that wasn't that long ago. He said the previous owner did throttle actuators himself and did a bunch of maintenance himself. So it has throttle actuators. It has rod bearings. Does not have valve cover replacement done, so that's something we might need to look at if we do keep the car. But other than that, it has a bunch of like random, I don't know, it has a bunch of random stuff in the ad. Has coolers done, has some other maintenance. The fuel system's been gone through. I don't really know. It's not my car. There's the titles from New Mexico. He only bought it in January, so that is throwing me off. He said it's been his daily driver, but it's been sitting for like a month or two. So what, he daily drove it for a month? I don't know. But the thing that is a problem too is that the shop, he said, just replaced the pulleys and the belts. So they replaced the supercharger belt and all the pulleys in here, and it just snapped the belt. So he said it's a very reputable shop. I have the receipt for it. Oh, this and that and this, but obviously they didn't do something correct. Or what I'm thinking is that because it didn't shred a belt, so it doesn't say that anything's out of line. Since it just snapped it clean off, I'm assuming that it was a cheap belt, a shitty belt, or it was a faulty belt. Because other than that, it would have shredded a belt. It would have lost some ribs first. You would have seen some fraying, but it literally just snapped clean in half. So I think this thing was making too much power for that belt, which is what I'm assuming. Let me know in the comments. I could be wrong. I've never really had a supercharged car like this. So I guess this is going to be new for me and a new car for me. It's going to be a bunch of new stuff. But again, if you want to buy it, go ahead. Take it off my hands. I don't want it. The good news is that this car would probably be easy to trade for something less and then cash on top, because everybody wants these. So let me know in the comments below. I keep trying to buy these cars and make an amazing road trip video, and they keep breaking. I don't know if white cars are cursed or if it's me, but something's cursed. Something's got some bad juju. So this is about it for this video. It's probably going to be a long one. Let me know down below. I'm probably going to get roasted in the comments. Everyone's going to tell me how stupid I am for trading. Hey, I'm there with you. I regret this. I wish I had a time machine. If you got a time machine, let me use it real quick. Other than that, this is about it for this video. I'm going to get out of here. I got to get some sleep for work. I only got like 4 hours to sleep until I can go to work. So other than that, I appreciate you guys. We're out of here. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yep, we're in a new shit box. Unfortunately, this shit box just cost me my F80, but I guess it's a learning experience, and hopefully we can make something positive out of this. So later, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the subscribers. Happy to be at 1,000 subscribers. Happy to be making videos for you guys. Trying to bring you some good content, but you know, your boy got some bad juju. So other than that, later, guys. I love you guys. We're out of here.